Hi, and thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be taking a look at passwords. More importantly, secure passwords. Passwords protect areas of your life you don't want anyone having access to. Why would you want to risk someone breaching your privacy? The only way to combat that is to be responsible. Security starts with you, and that's what this tutorial wants to help you with. Help you understand how to make a good password. Before we begin, let's take a look at what cracking passwords is all about. The best way to do this is by example. Let's say I have a password that's 2 characters long, and it can be either the letters A, B, or C. We would have a total of 9 possible combinations. AA, AB, AC, BA, BB, BC, and CA, CB, CC. The short term of this equation is 3 letters, A, B, or C, times 3 letters, because each character in our 2 character long password can have one of 3 letters each. If we had 3 characters in length using A, B, or C, it would be 3 times 3 times 3 for a possible of 27 combinations. In simple terms, 3 to the power of 3, or the number of possible characters to the power of the password's length in characters. So in theory, adding characters and length will change the difficulty and make your passwords harder to crack. Let's put together a case scenario, shall we? Let's say you log into your super cool web hosting account. Let's say, for case of argument, your password is JKWECV. Just how secure is that password anyway? Let's break it down into facts. Your password is 6 characters long. Your password is all lowercase characters. And your password is based on the 26 letters in our alphabet. Each character in your password has 26 possibilities, the letters A through the letters Z. The different possible characters are 26. The length is 6. Using the rule we discussed previously, that would be 26 to the power of 6. Okay? Take my word on the math. Okay, that's 308,915,776 possible combinations. To give you an idea of how much time cracking this password will take, a low-end Core 2 Duo desktop running Linux can achieve approximately 7,000 combinations per second. If you put that number against the total possible combinations, that's 44,130 seconds, or 13 hours. We're very close. So one computer brute forcing that password will take about 13 hours to break it, if it doesn't find it before that. Just adding one more character to that combination would have made it a 318-hour job. Making it 8 characters would have made it an 8,200-hour long job. Translation, 341 days to crack that password. Let me ask you again, how safe is that lowercase password? Not secure at all. So now that we've covered a case scenario and basics behind cracking, here are a few points of knowledge you may or may not already know. We're only giving them to you to lay out how a real world scenario could happen. Anyone who asks you for a password has a local copy on their system in a database or a flat file. Usually these passwords are hashed to prevent their disclosure. A hash is a one-way encrypted version of your password. One of the most popular hashing algorithms out there is called MD5. The word cat, for example, when hashed, cannot be dehashed. The only way to know if the hash that was produced means cat is to have the word cat hashed and to compare the two results, the stored result and the one you just generated. If a hacker breaches a system, he may disclose the password file that's hashed, which contains passwords which he cannot read, and he may save it to his local system to prevent himself from being noticed. So instead of connecting 8 million times to try and guess your password, he can guess the password list as much as he wants because he has it on his local system. So it's a matter of time. So if you haven't changed your password, you'll be hacked on the first try since they've already breached you on their computer at home. Now that we've creeped you out a bit with how somebody may be cracking your password right now as you're watching this video, let's look at rules of thumb. a list of do's, if you will, when generating new passwords. Number 1 on that list is use 8 or more characters in your passwords. The more the merrier. Every character you use increases the amount of combinations a cracker needs to use exponentially. Number 2, change your password every 30 to 60 days. I've known hackers who have tried to crack a password list for over 60 days, which means if your password is weak enough to be guessed within 30 days, you're out of luck. If it's guessed within 40 days, well, you might have been able to dodge being exploited if you would have changed your password after 30. Number 3, use lowercase letters when you're generating a password. Using lowercase letters will give you 26 characters worth of fortification in any password that you generate. Number 4, use uppercase letters. Using uppercase letters will give you an additional 26 characters, bringing the character count up to 52. Number 5, use numbers from 0 to 9. These will give you 10 more characters. And number 6, alternative characters are your friends. Use the pound, use an asterisk, use a question mark, use an ampersand. It doesn't really matter. They give you 28 or so additional characters when somebody is trying to crack your password. So the character count is 26 plus 26, that's 52, plus 10 is 62, plus 28 is 90. So right now, if you generate a password that's 8 or more characters long with these 90 characters as possibilities, your password is going to be really hard to guess. So with these 90 characters, if we took the initial case scenario we examined not too long ago, which was 6 characters long and alpha only, we'll find that our new guidelines using 6 characters will give us 531,441,000,000 possible combinations to your password. That'll take our test system, which is doing about 7,000 combinations per second, roughly 880 days or so to crack. That's at a maximum, which means that we're looking at close to 3 years worth of possible cracking time just to crack that password that's going to be changed after 30 days anyway. So it's not a big deal. So if you want to put the numbers against each other, using a lowercase alpha only password that was 6 characters long gave us 308 million combinations, or 309 million, which was crackable in 13 hours. This is the loser, folks. And the winner is 531 billion combinations, which takes a system roughly 3 years to crack. Now that we've looked at the list of best practices, let's look at the worst practices. We call this a list of don'ts. Number 1 on our list is don't use words listed in the dictionary. Apple, horse, superficial, and ubiquitous. These are 4 examples of words not to use. They may be long, they may be complicated, but it doesn't mean anything for a hacker. Number 2, don't use words based on objects visible by your computer. Often enough, if an intruder is local to your computer and your password is, coffee cup or fan or printer or telephone or webcam, these are bad options. I mean, if they're visible, he may try what he can see. Number 3, don't use proper names. Julius, Mary, John, Franklin, your son's name, your son's best friend's name. These are really bad passwords generally because people will try what they see, they will try what they know about you, they will try to engineer what they already know to break into a PC. These are always the first guesses. Number 4, don't ever think that uppercasing every other letter is secure. Well, let's use the same as the proper names above here. Julius, Mary, John, and Franklin. No matter how they're spelt, uppercase, lowercase, you're increasing the combinations. This is a good thing, but it's still very weak. Upper and lowercase is still extremely weak. Number 5 on our list is leet speaking. So if you were to leet speak your password, it's not secure. Don't be disillusioned. It's not because you're writing in hacker talk and replacing E's with 3's and A's with 4's and S's with 5's that your password will not be cracked. Number 6, don't think a dictionary word with a number on the end is secure. Very important. If you ever think that using Apple 1 or Horse 2 or Superficial 69 is secure, you're absolutely wrong. It is totally insecure, and you do not want to be using that. Number 7 on the list, don't ever use the same word as your username for a password. Example, your username is John. Don't use John as a password. Very bad. Very, very bad. Breaks all the rules. Number 8, don't ever use the word password as a password. Username John, password, password. Very bad. And number 9 on our list of don'ts when generating passwords, don't think reversing a word is clever, because it really isn't. So that sums it up, folks. Thanks for taking a look at today's words of advice. Tune in next time. Stay safe. Have yourselves a great day.